Today we are going to be discussing about new topic which is related to sprint plan. So we have followed the Agile methodology. I have told you we are following the Agile methodology. So in the Agile methodology, when we are following the Agile methodology, basically in the Agile methodology, what we having means we are going to be using in the form of sprint. So every sprint having a plan. So to do any task, we are going to be planning a sprint plan. So in the sprint plan, what we are going to do is whatever the task is there, the task is going to be divided into the sprint plan. So we will see in the Google. So what is the sprint and how sprint plan a plan. Just I'm searching for the example uh, template. So this is the template which we are going to be following. So every sprint having the sprint name. So what are the it is going to be divided into n number of modules. For example, if I want to, so for example, I'm having a sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. So in every sprint, so this is the sprint 1, this is the sprint 2, and this is the sprint 3. So in every sprint, what we having in sprint, we are going to be defining with the features. What are the features to be developed? So in this sprint, we having some features. The features is going to be converted into the user stories. Later we will see it. Every sprint here, this is an example. So the sprint having some task. So this task is going to be whatever the features to be developed to the particular sprint. So estimation. So how many sprints we are having per a project. So for a project we have considered as a 40 sprints within the 40 to 50 sprints we are going to cover uh, our project. So here we are going to be planning as per the um, plan. So how many sprints we have to divide? For example, for my project, I want to divide as a 40 sprints. So I'm having around 40 sprints. What we having a cycle. So basically some companies will defined so year of the project. So my project is starting in the 2024. So pi is a project. So I'm going to covered five. In this one I'm going to be releasing some part of the project. So 1 minute. In my project I'm having features like login, I'm having inbox, I'm having inbox, I'm having add friend, delete friend, logout. I'm having these five features, for example. So I want to decide in this login also. I'm having features like login, forgot password, create account, uh, delete account, deactivated accounts. So some around 5 to 6 features I'm having. So these all features I'm going to be considered as a PM. I'm having sprint plan. So for this login, I'm having a sprint plan for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I can mention it. So when we are going to be starting the sprint, when it is going to be end, so what is the duration, what is the status of that sprint, so whether it is completed, whether it is in progress, whether not yet started, whether it is overdue or need to be reviewed, approved, or it is hold, what is the type of that sprint we having. So here, see here in the sprint plan document, so the task is going to be divided for the sprint one. This is for the sprint one. So in the sprint one we having three features, for the sprint two we having the three features, for the sprint three we having the features. So type of the sprint, what is the responsible, when we are starting, when we are ending, the duration of the sprint and status. So this is the template. So we can create a template sprint plan board also. So sprint plan board, basically we are going to be creating in the Azure. So you can create in the Jira, or you can create in the TLM, or you can use the Azure board. Whatever the board your company is going to be used, you can create. So this is the Azure board which you have to log in. So once we have login to this Azure board, you can able to create the sprint. So before going to this one, let us see uh, what is sprint. Then we will see other things. First, we will discuss what is happening in the sprint plan. Then we will discuss how to create our sprints and what is sprint. So sprint is nothing but uh, sprint is a it is a stages in the agile methodology, which the team is decided to complete their task. So what are the tasks we is going to be assigned? So in the sprint plan, so we will decide our duration is 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks we it consisting of user stories. So user stories is nothing but what task we have to complete in the current sprint. So in the current sprint, we are going to be covering the user stories. So what is the user stories which we are going to be covering in this current sprint is, suppose I'm having five user stories. So that five user stories I'm going to complete within this um, given time. Here we in this storyboard, what we are going to do is, uh, during the sprint plan, so who is going to be involved in this sprint plan, first thing. So who is going to be involved, and why the sprint plan is needed. So every sprint plan main is nothing but what task we are going to do in a current duration. So first thing I told you, I'm having five stories. So in this five stories, first in the sprint one, I have to complete this login. So in login, I'm having uh, uh, login to the application. I want to I want to check whether I have forgotten the password. It has to update my password. If I want to create an account, it has to create a new account. If I want to deactivate the account, it has to deactivate the account. So that task is going to be in whatever the task is there, the task is going to be in the form of user stories. And here in the sprint, we everyone is going to be, all team members is going to be work as a um, single unit. So here who is going to be working? Some BA business analyst will be going to be working here, and developer is going to attend this call. Tester is going to attend this call. UI developers is going to attend this call. If some stakeholders, business, some client, business analyst is going to be joining this call. So what is the purpose of joining this call? So whenever we having this sprint mean, everyone is going to be interact in this one. So we will get a conflict. If I want to ask any question to the client, I can ask the question to the client. Take care of this. Who will take care of this sprint? Suppose I'm having a sprint. So who will take care of this sprint? So to take care of the sprint, there will be a scrum master will be there. So scrum master is a person who is responsible to deliver the deliver the products in time. So whenever we want to deliver anything, he is the person who is going to be delivered everything within the time only. Okay, he is the main person who is going to be responsible for everything. So here what we have to do, the scrum master, what he will do, ho- how to do and what to do, and he will prepare some task like assigning the related story points. So to complete this task, for example, I'm having 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, around we are going to be working 8 hours. So we are going to be per 8 hours. So 8 into 10, 80 hours time duration is there. So in 80 hours, they are going to be assigning the stories. So how they are going to be assigned the 80 hours? They will not assign the stories. So what they will do means within the 80 hours, we will take breaks, lunch breaks, some tea breaks, some meetings, everything will be go around 64 hours will be left. So within the 64 hours, so they will create a task. So how they are going to, suppose if I want to create a task, so here I'm going to be adding a story. First I will create a story here. I will create first dashboard. So online training. So we can this project is going to be accessed by all the my team members, to all my organization people. With a group of people I am going to adding, so I'm going to add organ admin. So I'm going to be saving this one. So here it has created a dashboard for me. If I want to add any dashboard, I can add the dashboard. Suppose if I want to create my test plan. So here I'm going to creating my user story. So I'm going to creating the user story. So my user story is logged into the application. So if you want to give the description, you can give the description. If you want to assign anything, you can assign it. So I'm going to assigning to uh, some person. So if you want to choose to whom you are assigning as a team, you can create as a team members. So it is initially it was created by the organization people only. You're not no need to create it. So I have created. You can view that scrum board. So this is the dashboard where if I want to create any uh, a task, I can create the task here. Mm, minute, I will show you how to create the task. Online training, view dashboard. Mm, create project user stories. So you can able to see it. Cancel. Just give me 1 minute. I have clicked on create another. So here I'm having Scrum 1, Scrum 2. Just give me. If you want to edit this one, you can able to edit this one. So you, if you want to make the status as a in progress, you can make it as a in progress. Suppose if you have started working on this task, you can move this one to the in progress. Like I have completed. So actually, what we having here for this user story for the login to the application in this 64 hours, they have assigned us to complete this task. So we having login to the application this one. So for this one, they have given us 8 hours. For this one, they have given us 8 hours. For a particular user stories, they have given they have created 64 hours is suppose you having five stories, so five stories around 60 hours they suppose we having a 60 hours of time, so 60 hours they have created as a five stories. So these five stories, for each story we are getting around 12 hours. So 12 hours I'm having, I have to complete this work. So I have started working. So I will move this one status as a in progress. To do means I have not, this was assigned to me, but I have not started. In progress means once I have started working, I will move it to in progress. Once I have worked on this one, I'm going to be assigned to some XYZ person. So suppose I want to assign to my lead. So to check whether I have completed this task correctly or not. So once I have assigned to him, he will approve my one, and uh, he will put some comments here. So if he has put some comments, based on his comments, if I want to rework, I will rework it. If there is no need to rework, what I will do means I will make this status as done. Once I have make this status as a done means, see here, it has completed, the task has been completed, this task has been completed. We can see the dashboard template. Hmm, 1 minute login screen template wise we can able to see it. 1 minute, yes. Oh, view dashboard. So see here, view all dashboards. I'm able to view all the dashboards. So whatever the dashboards I'm having, I can view all the dashboards. If you want to create a dashboard, you can create a new dashboard also. Uh, so this is the default dashboard which I have assigned to one as a owner. If you want to change the name, you can change the name. You can create a sprint plan. You can invite the team members. If you want to invite any team members, you can invite the team members. If you want to create a plan, you can create a plan. If you want to view it, you can view it. Actually, there is a submission. So whatever the stories I have created, it is showing here. So if I have created this story, I have moved this one to done status. So this one I want to move to done state. Once I have make it as a done state and I'm going back, I will see it. So what you can view all that uh, test plans we have created. You can view it to whom you have assigned. So what is the status we having? Uh, so for this one, I have moved to done state. So it is moved to the done state. If you add any comments, you can able to see the comments here. Suppose the tester is going to be giving you some comments. That comments you can able to view it here. So we having whenever we are working. So suppose, for example, I have to create a test plan. So the test plan which I have created completed during this time. Suppose I have to complete, I have taken as a 2 weeks. So within these 2 weeks, I need to complete my task. So I have not completed my task. Um, so I have not completed my task. Mhm. We can make it as a group. I'm making it as a none. So suppose, for example, I have having a project which I have not completed within this task. I'm not able to create it. Why? Because we having some license issue. So I will tell you. I will show that sprint plan board. Discard. Jira. So this is the sprint plan board. So current sprint, what is the current sprint we having? So we having the user story. So once we have worked on this user story, we are going to be moving to the next in progress. So once we have moved this to in progress, 1 minute. Yeah. Once we have completed, for example, I'm not able to complete this one within this time. So what happened here, I can move it to the next sprint. Suppose, for example, I have taken within the 64 hours, I have this one is assigned for me 12 hours, but 12 hours I am not able to complete. Unfortunately, I have taken a sick leave. So in the sick leave, I'm not able to complete this one. So what I can do, I can move it to the next sprint, or else if it is sometimes what happen, it is related to some developers issue. So developer has to complete this task. So he needs some more time. It is dependency on the other task. So at that time, what we can do is we can move our stories to the product backlog. So in the product backlog, what we can do means, if we are not able to complete within the sprint duration, we can move that one to the product backlog. Why? Because it is having a dependency to the other module. That's why we are we are not sure that we are able to complete it within the time or not. Okay. So in that sprint plan, whenever we having a sprint planning, we are going to having four types of sprint plans. One is that one we having sprint plan. So sprint plan is nothing but it is a duration in what time what we are going to be doing. So for example, we have to plan how many stories we can able to complete it, and how many task is going to be moved to the next sprint. What are the tasks I am going to be completed within this particular duration of time. So we having a 2 weeks of time. In 2 weeks of time, what task I'm going to be completed, how many stories is going to be completed. In the sprint plan only, we are going to be deciding who are going to be involved and who are going to be working on which module. I can say that. So developers are working on the particular sprint. Um, so in the sprint plan, is nothing but what work we have to complete. So once the plan has been decided, so in the sprint plan everyone is going to be involved, so all the team members are going to be involved. So once the sprint plan has been completed, next what we will do means, um, we will go to the sprint reviews. So every day, whatever the work is there, sprint reviews we will see. We can say that in the sprint plan, what are the stages we having means sprint plan, sprint reviews, daily stand-up meetings, daily stand-up meeting, sprint retrospectro meetings. So sprint retrospectro meetings. So here, see here, once we have planned what to do the task, so once the task has been completed we will review it. We will review our sprint plans, so can we are able to move it if any stories are move to next sprint, move to next sprint or sprint backlogs, or product backlogs, move to product backlogs or hold. Sometimes the sprint is going to be hold for some duration of time. And every day we will have a meeting of 10 to 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to discuss what we have completed today, what we are going to do tomorrow. Is there any issues we are going to be facing to complete our task? So basically what the issues we are going to be facing. So it is suppose once the login page is designed, then only we can once the account is created, then only I can able to log in. If the account is not created, I can't able to work on the login functionality. So is there any dependency to complete my task, is whether it is making any difficulties to complete my task, we are going to be checking each and every functionality. And sprint retro uh, retrospectro meetings, so every end of the sprint, so sprint plan is going to be happen before starting our work. So sprint retro spectro meeting is going to be happen at the end of the sprint. So in the end of the sprint we are going to be discuss how to improve the quality. So in the current release, what task in the current sprint, what are the tasks we have completed? Suppose we have decided 12 hours, but I have completed within 6 hours. So at that time what we can do, we can add more stories to complete task. Suppose we have taken a story 12 hours, but it is taking 14 hours. So how to improve the quality in the 14 hours, what work we have to complete. So within the 14 hours, can I able to complete it or not? So if I'm able to complete it, how much work I have to complete it. So everything is going to be taken care in the retrospectro. So in the retrospective meeting, we will discuss what is the capacity. So 15, for example, total available hours, how many total available hours. So for example, there are the 5 developers working for 8 hours, means 40 hours. So 40 hours, how much work can be they work? So is there any adjustable hours are there or not? We will plan it. And is there any meeting? So meetings, we will discuss in the meetings how much work we have completed, how much work is need to be completed. So first thing, why we have to plan for the sprint plan. So sprint plan is nothing, it is an task which is going to be defined how much we can deliver in the particular time. So main advantages of agile methodology, why we are following the sprint means, we are going to giving the business to the customer in the early time. So once, for example, my project is going to be completed in the 1 year. So till the 1 year, the customer is not going to be wait. So what here he is going to do means, in the early stage after one sprint, he is going to be checking. So it is correct. So he will approve that one. If it is not correct, so if he want to make any changes in that current sprint, so he can make the changes. So coming to the again back to the waterfalls methodology. So waterfalls methodology, whenever we are using the waterfalls methodology, what we are going to be facing changes, whatever the changes I want to do, the changes I'm not going to be do in the middle. In the middle, changes is not going to be happen in the middle, but in this agile methodology, I can make the changes in the middle of the project. Suppose I have worked for for one sprint. So but the developer suppose the client is not satisfied with the designing of login page. So at that time, what happened, only my whatever the work I have did within this 1 week, this in the within this sprint, we are going to be wasting only this sprint work time only. But the remaining the another task, so we having another features like forgot password, these features, so they are working parallelly. So that work we can calculate it. So that is the main advantages, I can say that with the compared to the waterfalls model, uh, agile model, where we can accept the changes in the middle of the project. And agile methodology, which is more flexible compared to the waterfalls methodology. And it is I can say that it is more flexible, which allows the team to adopt the changes of requirement based on the priority, and the final product meets the evaluated stakeholder and faster delivery. The most important thing is the faster delivery. So why? Because we are going to be delivering this one immediately. And collaboration, so here everyone is going to be involved in the sprint plan. So what task we have to complete, and what task to be uh, uh, if we having any difficulties to complete that task, we can collaborate with the developers, stakeholders, clients, and we can communicate with each other, and we can discuss in that one, we can get a clarify, and we can able to work on that one. Continuous improvement is there uh, to solve that problem. So basically, when we are going to be using this agile methodology means, I can say that most of companies are, I told you, 90% of companies are using the agile methodology. Why? Because why most of companies are using this one means, basically everyone will not get a clear picture. Suppose I have decided to start the online classes. So, but I am not sure that how to start the classes. So how many people? So I have decided to start the class. I have taken 5 chairs, but if students are increased, how to increase that one? So we having some difficulties. So that difficulties cannot be measured within the in time. So we can we can adopt the changes in the middle. Suppose another 6 people came to that one, so we can make increase that one in the middle of that one also, which agile methodology allowing us to improve in the make the changes in the middle of our project. So that's why most of companies are following the agile methodology. Okay, here we will see who is the product owner. So product owner is the person who is decided to collect the requirements. So scrum master is the product owner who who will communicate with all the stakeholders. If we having any issues with the developers, if we want to increase any developers, he can talk with the product owner. And product backlog. So product backlogs is nothing but all the requirement are saved in the product. So the product owner will decide uh, what are the user stories they want to complete. If the user stories having some issues means basically, is there any defect is there? So the defect, based on the defects, we can't able to complete the task. So why we are not able to complete that task? So they will discuss it and they will move that story to the sprint backlog, product backlog, sprint backlog. Some companies will say as a sprint backlog also. And sprint plan, so sprint plan is going to be happen at the beginning of the sprint. So basically every company, most of companies will have 2 weeks only. In 2 weeks we have to complete based 4 to 5 user story according to the software priority. Based on the software priority, we are going to be completing the task. And here the scrum master will keep the track of each and every record. So to keep a track, what he will do means mm, he will keep the daily stand up meeting. In daily stand up meeting, every team member will be involved, developers, testers, everyone will discuss what is the problem they are facing to complete, what you did yesterday, what you are going to do, whether you are facing any issues to complete this task. Sprint backlogs. So sprint backlog is nothing but the task which I have not completed during this sprint. So due to suppose I have working on as a tester, I'm working on this user story. I have raised the defect. So today is the sprint closing day. So today is the sprint closing day, but he has given today only. He has fixed the defect and today only he has given. So I'm not getting time to check that one. So what I can do, I can move that story to the next sprint. Told that I can do it after 1 day. So today we have to close it. So whenever we want to close the sprint, it has to close in time. We have to check that one. It should not contain any backlogs, anything to be in progress. So I have shown you whatever the task we having, it should be in the complete state only. It should be in the complete state only. It should not go to in progress state. Step into this one. It should be complete in the in progress state only. I have login today only. It is making me some time to load. Just we will see next class. Okay, Jira class, I will take a separate section for it. Why? Because we have to create a account and we have to create a project and we have to create stories, user stories, and we have to create. We can create the defect also. We can create our test cases in Jira also. That's why I will take a separate section for it. And sprint backlogs, we having a sprint burn down chart. So sprint burn down chart is nothing but how much improvement we have taken, how much so in the current sprint, how much task we have completed. For example, if you see sprint burn down chart, so this is the sprint burn down chart. Mm, show that image. So how much daily task has been completed? So our expectation is to complete uh, complete within the estimation of 5 days. Actually estimation how much we have estimated, how much we have completed. If we have we have reached as per the expectations, it is good. If we have not reached as per the expectations, it is not good. Mm. So behind the schedule, ahead of schedule. So if we are working ahead of schedule means it is good. So we have to complete our task should be moved to done state. So if it is moved to the done state means it is we have worked completely. We have worked within the duration of time. So, release burn down chart by the product owner to track the release status. So, we having the story points. So, story points, what is mean by story points here means to complete this one, here I have taken 12 hours. So, 12 hours is going to be measured as a story point. Story point. So this task, whatever the task is assigned for me, that task is going to be called as a user story. So user story is nothing but a task. So you, in a user story, you are going to be creating subtasks. So this is a login is a user story. So in the login, I am having a subtasks like login, forgot password, create account, uh, deactivate account. So these all are the four tasks which I need to be completed on this particular story. So to complete this four tasks, I'm having they have given some user points. So within this 12 hours, I have to complete my task. So whenever I'm completing my task, I'm going to be moving that one to in progress. If I have started working on that one, I will move to in progress. If I am not started working, I will be I will put on to do mode only. If I have completed my task, I will send to the review to the reviewer. So if the reviewer is reviewed that one, then what we will do, we will move to the done state. So once it was done state means it is nothing but we are closing that one. So once we have closed that one, there is an the story has been completed. So I have completed my task. Suppose here the story points have given 12, but I have taken 8. Yeah, sorry, I have taken 15 hours for example, but I'm having 4 stories. So for another user stories, I can take 8 hours. So where I have uh, saved time in this user story, so I have taken time for this user story. So you can take like that. So whatever the time duration is there, within the time duration you have to complete your complete task. Okay. This is a burn down chart which we are going to be sending after every sprint over. So within the sprint, we are not going to be checking. So within the sprint, what I am going to be checking within the sprint, I'm having a daily stand up meeting. I'm having a sprint reviews. Sprint reviews, what work I have completed, what work I'm going to do. This part only I'm taking care of these things. Okay. So user stories, we having sprint retrospective meeting. So after releasing of each sprint, all the team members will discuss how sprint was. So is there any suppose in my sprint I'm having lot of backlogs. So if there are the lot of backlogs means definitely it is not good. So the burn down chart has come down. So as per our expectations, we have not reached. So so what happened, definitely it will be affected to the client also. The client will say that your performance is not good, so how can I bill you on you. That's why we have to discuss how much we have completed, how to improve our product quality. So why we have why our burn down chart come down. So is there any issues? So what issues we have faced, so that issues related to the application or related to the understanding of functionality. If the functionality is not clear, we are facing the problem, we have to decide and we have to uh, check each and everything. So I have told you, user story is defined as an actual business requirement. Generally we will create the it it was created by the product owner or business owner. So I need this requirement, I need a login page, I need in a inbox page, I need some xyz page. So epic will be there. Epic, whenever we are creating, we can create the epic. So epic is nothing but the group of related user stories. So login related user stories I will keep as a one requirement. For inbox, for adding a friend, I can add a friend. After adding a friend, I can chat with a friend, I can send a image to the friend, I can uh, like the image of friend. So this all comes under the single unit. So that one we are going to be making as a block. So we every agile board consisting of these things. So we having a task board, some people will call as a dashboard, agile dashboard, or agile task board, or work status board. So this dark task board consisting of user stories. So user stories is nothing but the actual business what we are going to do. To do status. So to do status means the user story is assigned to me, but I have not started working on it. The task has created to work for me, but I have not started. So once I have started working on that one, I will move to in progress, and I will send to the reviewer. So reviewer will review it, and once the reviewer has been done, based on his comments, if the reviewer has given the negative comments, so you at that time what you have to do, you have to fix that one, and you have to start working on that thing. Okay, and then uh, it is then only you can able to close this one. So this is all about the agile board. So whenever you are working as a developer, tester, or a UI developer, every person is going to be working with the agile methodology. So developers are also working with the agile methodology. As a tester, you also working with the agile methodology. So for every person we having a dashboard. In the dashboard we are going to be creating these things. Okay, this is all about the agile sprint plan. So thank you guys.